and podcast number 177. After finally a good run of form. I mean, finally, I said that earlier, but with the Europa League draw. But we'll get straight into that. Let me get straight into my panel, starting off with my man Chris. Chris, how's it doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I feel like we kind of have a lot of random shit to talk about on this episode. Yeah, I guess the Estoril game was solid. I got some hot takes about it that we'll get into. But yeah, excited to get into it. It is technically a Sporting160EN after dark, I would say.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
I won't classify it as that.
Very true. And also joined by my guy, Rich. Rich, how's it doing, bro?
I'm good. I'm sorry for jinxing us last week when I said we'll probably get Arsenal in the Europa League draw. I'll mea culpa on that one. I'll take the blame team. But yeah, other than that, like good run of form. We finally made up a bit of ground on Braga and Porto this week, so much needed. We're gonna need them to falter once or twice more and for us to capitalize, but hopefully it's a start of something. We'll see.
Facts. Be sure to follow, give Sam a follow there. Steph, of course,
Bro, Sam's been tweeting out some fire recently. He's been on a roll.
Sam's been tweeting out some good. My timeline's been a lot of
definitely
fun lately.
Sam.
Listen, low key, Sam's been on fire for at least a year now.
He has been on fire.
At least a year.
Like a couple weeks, bro. It's just nonstop content.
Sam's had some pretty fun ones. My timeline's a better place with Sam on it.
Give myself a follow, but more importantly, give the Sporting160_EN a follow as well. Guys, don't forget we are doing a giveaway. We're getting close. We're at what did you guys say?
863 as of today, so we're less than like 150, 140 away from hitting 1,000. And when we do hit 1,000, we will be giving away a Sporting shirt from Loja Verde of your choice. It can be the home kit.
You could wait a couple months for the new kit to release in July.
Could.
I mean, that's an option as well.
Unless the new kits stink and you want to get the old one, like it's cool. But up to you. We're covering everything. It's on us, and that will include shipping. And if you live in Canada and the United States, like us gentlemen, you know that shipping is absurd.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
That is a cost, but we will be covering that. So do subscribe. It costs absolutely nothing, and we appreciate the hell out of it.
Exactly. Well said, Rich. Perfect. Let's go straight into the game. Let me bring the lineup up here. A sound 2-0 win away from home against Estoril. Away from home, right? Am I tripping?
No, we were at home.
We were at home.
You wouldn't know it, but
22,000 fans were there.
You wouldn't know we were at home, but yeah, we were.
Exactly.
It was a home game on paper.
You would only know because there was green around.
Yeah.
But anyways, we had Adan in net, who didn't cause a mistake finally this season, I felt like. St. Just, Coates, and Mateus Reis on the back line with Nuno Santos and Bellerin, who got on the score sheet for us. Morita, Pedro Gonçalves in the midfield with Trincão, Edwards, and Paulinho up top. Substitutions of Shermiti, Inácio, Isgaio, who just can't stop coming in. Artur and Tanlongo as well. Rich, I'll start it off with you, dude. What were your thoughts on this game?
Oh, you started off with the wrong guy. I had to watch the highlights. I was at work.
All right, Chris, I'll start off with you then.
Honestly, I thought it was pretty dominant, especially the first half, but in general, overall, it was another game where, honestly, Estoril they showed why their place in the table has been dropping consistently. And I think that they're only like 4 points from safety at this point.
They're not far off.
They definitely showed why they're certainly at risk of going down because honestly they were shite. Yeah. I wasn't impressed at all. We totally kept them at arm's length. Had several dangerous chances in the first half. Thought we deserved a goal. The Bellerin goal came pretty late in the first half. Was kind of a shithouse goal, but I think a goal was very, maybe even two would have been deserved for the first half from Sporting. Definitely want to call attention to Paulinho's performance in this game. Really, really poor, honestly. I feel like really another really bad dive as well in the first half. Really sad dive. that we talked about it starting last season, how, if he has the option of go down or take the shot, like his confidence is at the point where he's always going to go down. He had that brief spell where maybe he would have taken the shot, but I mean, now he's back to the go down shit again. He had a decent little month of December, bagged some goals in the Taça de Liga, it's kind of that feels like a very distant memory at this point now,
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought his overall performance, I think he had like 9 touches prior to being subbed out. Just, not linking up. I mean, I guess he was, tracking back a little bit, but I mean, that's just it's not going to do it anymore. Estoril, honestly, like the little that they created, one of their best chances was an absolutely beautiful ball from Francisco Geraldes in the first 5 minutes, right over the top.
That would have been hilarious. That would have been so sport.
Perfect ball.
That would have been so sporting if they scored off of that.
The only threat for them really felt like it would come off the break. And then in the last 10 minutes or so, Sporting was really packing it in cruise control. And they were pushing. They got some corner kicks. They got some pressure in Sporting's half. They eventually hit the post. They kind of had a PK shout-ish with the Chermiti incident, which we can talk about. So the last 10 minutes ended up being a bit sketchier than it needed to be. But in the end, it's a comfortable win. Trincão, probably his best game in a while. But I will say, the articles the next day, the covers, it was either Abola or Record, the secrets to the Trincão Renaissance, I think it was.
What Renaissance?
It really felt like these articles were pre-written, and they were like, Trincão, man, just have a good game. They were just
waiting to print.
And my man literally did them no favors for 2 months by not doing anything. Has one good game, and they're like, all right, we can finally drop this article. That's what it felt like to me.
It's been waiting for a while, that article.
It was a good game. He was dangerous dribbling. He was creating chances, shooting. He scored. Great goal. But, is one game against, honestly,
a shit team. Exactly.
Let's build on this now, and then, 6 games.
If he all of a sudden has a month where he's consistently really showing
forced. And I'm not gonna lie, it would make sense because Trincão kind of is a player, high value, high transfer. Yeah,
he's a men's guy. Yeah,
the Judgment link.
He's important to this admin, right? He's kind of a marquee signing. It would be in their interest to kind of pump him up a little bit, but it felt forced. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
Agreed. And quickly on the Trincão thing, I mean, you can only do well on what's in front. You can only beat what's in front of you, right? So good on him. Well done. Like you said, Chris, move on from this. Keep on going. I also love Amorim after the game when discussing Trincão. Instead of just admitting, yes, he needs consistency, it was more so Marcus Edwards, when he came here last year, he was half the player that he is today. And it's was he really half the player? Or did Sarabia just take his spot and you didn't really give him the chance, right?
Or was Sarabia dragging this team? At times. Let's be real.
Exactly. But anyways, Rich, what were your thoughts on this game?
So I did get to read the match reports, watch the highlights, got a bunch of messages and everything for everybody. So yeah, overall, good performance. In the highlights, Estoril did not really threaten outside of the Geraldes pass. That would have been hilarious just because it's a former Sporting guy. And the last few minutes of their highlights and the
time they were shithousing at 0-0. If they got a goal in the first 5 minutes.
Oh, we were done. We were not winning that game if they scored in that first 5 minutes. We would have folded. We would have fallen apart like a disorganized game of dominoes. It would have been awful. Overall good. They needed this win because as we saw, Porto and Braga both dropping points this week. So that was key to make up. We're 5 points behind Braga and 8 behind Porto now.
Yeah, I said a couple weeks ago, Braga's games are the only ones that matter. So while it is cool that Porto dropped points, I still feel like Braga.
It's cool if you're a Benfica, because I think it, barring an epic collapse, they've probably got the title. And fair play to them, they've played phenomenal all season. But I think that's pretty much all the Porto game did. I think
when the back PK got called, I mentally accepted that they had won the title this year.
Yeah.
They were already 6 points up at that point. It's
okay. Yeah, I think that's all that the Porto game really did. The Braga game like you said, Chris, means more, and even then, it's not an automatic Champions League place; it's a playoff. So you're going to get a couple extra games at least next season if you get to the playoffs. So it is what it is. But yeah, we'll take a 2-0 win. That Trincão goal was absolutely absurd. Highlight reel stuff. He'll be adding that. You'll see that.
I was rewatching it honestly before the show.
Yeah.
The first defender is very cautious to not cause a penalty and ends up honestly defending horribly.
You could see he overthought what he was supposed to do
and didn't do what he was supposed to do. He just kind of backs away and he just goes right past him.
He was too afraid of like, if I hit this guy, I might cause a penalty. So he just backed off too much and it cost them. But yeah, I wouldn't call him the Renaissance man yet, but good goal. Hopefully it's, like we said, it's a start of something for him. God knows he could use it. He's one of the more expensive signings, certainly of this administration's tenure. So they'll be really wanting for him to be a success and not a flop.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, overall, like good. It was a good win. We didn't look like in danger of losing at any real given point. So good. Hopefully it's a nice little run of form we're on. Hopefully we continue it.
Facts. I won't add anything onto this game. I think you guys hit the nail on the head. I kind of want to ask your opinion on one major thing, but one thing I think we should definitely mention is St. Just. What is this? The 6th game in a row starting or some shit like that, or at least playing?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Solid.
Probably the longest. He's been playing well.
He's looking good.
He's been looking really well.
He's looking really good, which is not a surprise to anybody. Like here, I think we all understood that we had a player in our hands.
It was just the frustration because he was injured a lot, and that's going to lead anybody to get annoyed. But
and I don't care how good you are. You could be Messi, but if you play only once a month, you know what I mean? Like, PSG fans hate Neymar because he feels like a part-time baller for their play.
Neymar always takes like a month. Neymar always takes like a month. Like this time of year, he's always off. He's always
his sister's birthday and Carnival.
Yeah, but he actually fucked his ankle.
This time was really bad.
Well, he screwed it up at the World Cup, so that's not too shocking. Like his ankle was not supposed to bend the way it bent.
Nah, no way.
But yeah,
the only other thing that I wanted to ask your guys' opinion on, and it was kind of like mentioned during the game or after the game. Of course, Ugarte couldn't play because of an accumulation of yellow cards.
Yes,
but no Tanlongo. We played.
I was a little surprised at that. I was a little surprised at no Tanlongo. I thought maybe he would have got a bit more burn, but no Tanlongo was a bit of a surprise. We got Morita and Pedro Gonçalves in the midfield, which was certainly a choice. I'll say that. Certainly a maneuver.
Ruben after the game was saying that
he
still trusted Potts to sort of play in between the lines, so that's why he didn't start Tanlongo. But I mean, this goes to both of you, but I guess I'll pass it to you next, Chris. Like, what do you think? Tanlongo out of favor? Is he getting the Sutiris treatment? Are we going to be in for another CDM, especially with these Ugarte to Barcelona links?
We might.
I guess he just hasn't earned the trust yet.
It's barely been a month too.
But it is interesting because there was an article today or yesterday that said, they're definitely looking to add like another midfielder because they want to make sure Ploth is able to play in the attack full time next season.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so just play him in the attack then and figure it out otherwise. I don't know. Like, why is he? If he doesn't want to play him in the midfield, then
don't play him in the midfield.
You have the power to not do that. I mean, there are other options. Like, if you value him that much.
Well, they've given enough young guys burn this season too.
Play him in the attack, bro. I mean, I don't really get it at this point. But to
also,
be fair, this was a better game from him in the middle than some of his other ones.
Also, it's Estoril. Like, you can afford to play like one of the other we're rotation guys and probably get away with it.
Yeah.
Like you can throw a Sugo in there. He's looked okay. You could throw Tanlongo if you really want. Like you got some options. I know it's tough because Bragança's season's obviously lost at this point, but you still have some okay options, and it's a game against like a near bottom feeder team. You can afford to take the risk. It's not like you have much else to play for. Like you're basically just kind of fighting to either try to get Champions League or just hold down Conference League at this point. Like I say this every week. Like you don't have much going on. It doesn't hurt to throw the kids in. If anything, it helps you prepare for next season because now they'll have some actual games on their resume, and they'll be a bit more ready when you throw them to the Wolves.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, James brings up a good point. He is only 18. That's fair, but I mean,
Yeah,
this guy started Asugu at 16, and he threw him on. And I remember the first game he threw him on. It was the last 10 minutes
threw him
against
on,
Guimarães
like,
when we were struggling to hold on to the lead, right? So
yeah,
you gave the kid confidence then. Like I don't see how
yeah,
anything's changed from then till now, right? A championship doesn't change much, especially since we're battling it out for third at this point.
yeah.
But yeah, I just thought that was interesting and something to mention as well. But anyways, man of the match. Unless there's anything else to speak about, I don't think so. I can't remember anything more
No,
about this
I'm
game.
kind of covered this game. I think you're on mute, Chris.
You're on mute.
I will say the Trimiti incident at the end would have been called a penalty if it was in the box. It was outside the box, so the VAR didn't do anything. But just overall, bro, he needs to watch himself in general.
He's got to be careful.
Constantly getting into shenanigans, I feel like. Him and Tanlongo, even when Tanlongo goes, it's like constantly like late for tackles. He's sliding when maybe he doesn't need to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sustainable, I guess, if you're a reserve option and you're just picking up yellows, it doesn't really matter. But like, if these players are going to be consistent options going forward, and again, they're both still young, obviously, as someone pointed out.
Oh, they're kids. They're still learning.
18, 19, right? Like, they'll learn, I hope, right? And they'll evolve. But like, in general, I mean, you can't be picking up a booking 3 out of 4 games that you play. It's just not sustainable, you know.
Facts.
No,
Facts.
you're absolutely right. Like, it's just stop with the shenanigans.
And he's lucky not to be. He's lucky not to be sent off for just a straight VAR violent conduct incident review. You know, he puts his forearm up in the dude's face. I mean, you're asking for trouble.
You're asking for it at that point. Yeah, like be better. Be better. We can be better. I think. Come on.
Agreed. All right, man of the match. I'm gonna give mine to, even though he got subbed off. He got a goal. I have the pictures up, and I'll throw them up in a second. But looked good in this kit the other day.
As long as it's not video, we're fine.
I'm going with Hector Bellerin, boys. I thought he had a good game. I thought he's looked. I don't know why I don't know if he's not up to scratch to play the 90 minutes, but he has
been hurt for stretches of the season.
He hadn't scored in like a year and a half either, or something like that. Or like 2 years or something like that.
Yeah.
He'd also been hurt for stretches of the season at Barca.
It hurt, and he also didn't get burned at Barca, so maybe he's just coming up to match speed. But
he's looked good. Like he's certainly an upgrade.
He does something, man. He can do something in the attack, which our other option can't do anything.
Exactly. And okay, this might be a crazy hot take. I know it's still early on. I've maybe not had paid full attention to some games because they have been during the week, but maybe it's too early to say. Anyways, fuck it, I'll say it. I think as a team we look better with Bellerin than we did with Porro. I feel like with Porro it was let's get the ball out to the right, have him beat a few mans, cross it in, or do something, right? Whereas with Bellerin, I feel like we're a lot more fluid.
I feel like
maybe that's because we don't trust him yet, but anyway.
I feel like Porro suffered kind of like Bruno at the end, where he tried to do everything and he tried to play hero ball. I feel
like that was our plan. Our plan was our plan. Let's boom it to the right wing.
Freedom to cut in, shoot even if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that was the plan, but I think it hurt him a bit.
Technically. So
Porro's the better player. I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
as a team, I feel like we're playing more cohesive now with Bellerin than we did with Porro. But that's a hot take that I'm not willing to die on. If Porro drops a stinker tomorrow, I'll call it how it is.
Porro's been having a rough go.
He's had a rough start to life in North London there.
Emerson's about to win the Ballon d'Or.
Emerson saw Porro was coming for a spot, decided to go fucking sicko mode.
Emerson, he won player of the month for Spurs, so
he did.
That's crazy. He was inspired. But Chris, man of the match for this game for you.
For me, I'm going to go with the man who just missed out on this award by 0.1, Morita.
Baller.
That's fair. Baller. I just got a Japan shirt because of Morita as well.
Very solid game for Morita.
Yeah.
Link up everything. Really showing good value, for whatever, 3.9 million, whatever came out yesterday.
Yeah. That's fair.
How about you, Rich?
I'll give it to Bellerin. It was nice. It's always nice to see a guy get his first goal for the club. And he had a really good game when he was on. And the photo shoot he did just kind of cemented it because I love those kits. I keep saying to Danny, if I see the kit that Danny has on classic shirts again, I might have to drop the bag. I might have to make a poor. I might not be able to financially recover from it, but I might not have a choice. I have to do it.
What a beautiful man.
That's one of my favorite shirts.
This picture goes hard.
Yeah,
I'm just saying out of the pictures, this one I think this one's my favorite. This one goes
that one goes. That's an album cover worthy.
Yeah.
This one's mean. This one gets the panties wet for sure.
That's the Bachelor bio one.
This one's a cute one too.
Yeah. It's that one or the last one's like your Bachelor bio one. The one with all the shirts like on the line. That's like the album cover one.
Fact. If I was Beller, if I had a picture like this, that's my first picture on Hinge or Tinder or whatever, Bumble, Grinder, whatever you guys use. You know what I mean? No, that's my first.
We don't judge,
with like not an iPhone or something.
Yeah.
Not the stash. You've had the stash. You can shave the beard. And you can do it, bro.
Can you imagine this picture if he had the mullet still?
Oh,
yeah. I'm honestly sad that
he doesn't have the mullet. I really like the mullet.
It's like the least interesting hairstyle he's had in the past. Like
I know.
It's your default hairstyle in like pro clubs. This is what he has now. Like.
Yeah.
Looks like an uncle.
Yo, you're not wrong. Everybody has an uncle, like a Portuguese uncle, that kind of looks like that, or at least looked like that once upon a time.
Let's since we're on this, Bellerin, this is the Lei du X or whatever it's called, the law of the X. We're playing Arsenal, boys, as you alluded to, Rich. So, Rich, I'll start this one off with you since you're the one that spoke this into fruition.
It's my fault.
It's 100% your fault. Thoughts on this draw? I mean, couldn't have been any worse, right?
Yeah, you really couldn't have gone any worse than Arsenal. That was probably the one team I think most people wanted to avoid. You don't know what they're gonna do. They could easily just, if they're still, they're leading the Premier League, right? They might prioritize that and give somewhat of a rested squad in the Europa League. They might not think of it as a priority for them. They might just see it as kind of a bonus. Any man with two hands has a fighting chance. We got a chance, but I don't know how much. We might need some stuff to go our way. We might need a bounce or two. I'm not hopeful, but I can never bet against this team, can I? Because I'm just a cynic. I got nothing. It's the worst of the draw, but like, what can you do? You play with the hand you're dealt.
Yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
I think it is the worst. Don't get me wrong, especially from the teams that we had.
Them and United are the two strongest teams left. And the only reason we couldn't get United was because they were also in the playoff.
Exactly. I 1,000% agree with you there. And don't get me wrong. I think we could have easily been bounced in the round of 16 by any of the Spanish teams.
I wanted
Roma,
the Spanish team.
I wanted Roma, to be honest. I wanted
Roma would have been.
We beat them in the preseason. Mourinho is like a Mourinho fan, but anyways.
Well, I think Roma we would have matched up well against anyways because
I agree.
We both have similar kind of coaches and stuff, so I think we would have matched up well with them.
Facts, and to be honest, Roma will play a great game against like Napoli and stuff like that. Even if they lose, they'll play really great, and then they'll drop points to like. Who did they just lose to? Cremona, and Spezia, teams like that.
Cremonese
okay, exactly, Cremonese. So it's like whatever with.
They're a really weird team.
Yeah, exactly. I really wanted Fenerbahce for the JJ reuniting, but whatever, it wasn't meant to be. Arsenal, I'm with you. I feel like they might rest players on their first game when they're coming to Lisbon.
They might, I think their second leg will be if we can get a result in Lisbon.
That's what I'm worried about, though.
That's the thing.
Because if we get a result in Lisbon, they're going all out in London. While they're
I think in London we will have. That's going to the one benefit is this is a phenomenal away day, and I already know like so many people are like, I'm going to that game.
Yeah,
like people that are London based, like Sam's, I'm pretty sure is going to that game. I don't know I don't know if he's going to be in and around the away section or if he's going to be amongst the Arsenal supporters, but he's going to that game. Like, Like it's going to be a phenomenal away day, so we might have at least a bit of support to push the boys over the finish.
Of course,
if we need
as
it.
we did the last time we went there too, right? Obviously, different.
We took over the Emirates.
Exactly.
Like their fans after the game. There's like Arsenal fan TV stuff. Are like, man, their fans made more noise than our fans.
To be fair, it's a pretty common occurrence to get the Emirates taken over by Europeans.
I think it happens a lot. I think English teams' atmospheres is kind of overrated.
But now Arsenal, their fans are electric now. I have to say, right now they're easily the best.
Arsenal's one of those teams when they're good, it's hell to play there, right? But when they're bad, you're like, yeah, cool, whatever.
They're us.
Take it over.
They're like us. They haven't won a league
in
2004 or 5 or whatever it was.
Yeah,
we hadn't won the league since 2001. I think it's around like 19 years for them as well.
Yeah,
they're us. They're very much us.
They're the original meme team.
Exactly.
And we're just Arsenal too. I said this. My buddy at work, he was a big United fan, and he was out because he was trying to learn more about my club. And I'm like, yeah, like we're kind of the Arsenal of Portugal. He goes, really? I'm like, yeah, we're like a meme team. Like we snatch like defeat from the hands of victory. We find new ways of torture the fan base.
Exactly. But nonetheless, I still think this is a draw. I mean, I'm optimistic, stupidly optimistic.
Oh yeah, that's what we are. We're stupidly optimistic.
Exactly, because you love the club, and I know the potential within this squad as well. And obviously, if they're gonna amend anything of this season, even if we lose the next round in the quarters,
it's still extra money coming
beating
in.
Arsenal, and it's still extra money coming in.
Like I know it's not Champions League money, but it's in our best interest to make a run in the Europa League because you still get like a couple million.
And you can say we're helping out the coefficient as well because Braga got pounced out and Porto is on the way probably to get pounced out as well. I'm not even looking at it from that standpoint. I'm just looking at it from a season standpoint. Even obviously winning the Europa League, I think it was. I was watching a Gonzalo video. I don't know if you guys know who he is. He's a Portuguese YouTuber, and he even said like winning the Europa League wouldn't salvage the season; it would salvage the decade. Which is 100% right.
No, he's not. It would salvage the century.
It's not looking. We're not looking in terms of winning the Europa League at all. Obviously, not after Arsenal. But if we somehow get a tie against Arsenal,
3 years if we won the Europa League, it would salvage this century right now.
Exactly. If we get a draw against Arsenal, maybe lose, but a decent loss at home, obviously we can go with our heads held high, like we gave them a fight, right? But if we can produce that same sort of performance we gave their rivals earlier in the Champions League, I think we have a fighting chance to make it out, at least out of this round, right? And live to fight another day. Because after this, if we lose in March to Arsenal, the second draw, what do we have to fight for after that? That's my main.
Nothing. You have zero things to fight for.
So the longer in the Europa League, the better. But of course,
it's in our best interest financially because it's not. It's chance for Champions League.
Yeah,
too.
Braga drop points.
But it's also in our best interest. I know it's not Champions League money, but it's still like a couple million or so, like each round. Like it's still money that's coming in, and like it's in our best interest to do well regardless of the competition. Like it's extra money coming in.
Exactly. I just hope the boys don't drop a stinker against whoever it is that we face next. Portimonense, exactly. And then drop like a 10 out of 10 against Arsenal at home. I really hope that's not the case.
It would be the most sporting thing to do too.
I think that would piss me off more than fucking being shit against Arsenal. You know what I mean? But yeah. Any last thoughts on this, Chris? On us playing Arsenal?
No, I mean, not really. It probably was among the harder draws that we could have gotten. But yeah, we're often, we've made some decent runs in Europe with pretty mediocre squads, which you could arguably say we have now. So, you never know.
We've made deeper runs with worse squads.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's potential. Arsenal on paper. I don't know. Arsenal has that little bit of magic though. Like this year,
that magic that we had.
That's what I was saying.
They're a decent squad. They're just missing their striker right now. That's about it.
They play like a team too. Like they play very collectively. It doesn't feel like a group of individuals.
Yeah. Last thing that I'll say about this thing, it's just two things. One, if Arsenal love doing this thing, I don't know if you guys have watched a lot of Arsenal this year. They love doing this thing where they'll fake an injury or the goalkeeper will go down. The boys will all go to Arteta, drink some water. They'll have a little 5-minute timeout.
They've been watching
Portuguese. Just so Arteta can, give in some instructions.
Say, hey.
If they do that at Sporting, I hope we give them a proper reason. I hope Quat's fucking 2 foot fucking sock up the ass.
Oh, if you're gonna get a yellow card, give them a reason to get a yellow card, kind of thing, right?
Exactly. 2, Ugarte's out for this next game because of the yellow cards as well.
Yeah.
But the thing is that with me in Arsenal, I hate Arsenal almost as much as I hate Benfica, Porto, and Braga. I won't even throw Braga in the mix.
I won't throw
almost as much as Porto and Benfica. I think I might hate Arsenal.
I hate Maritimo more than I hate Braga.
Yeah, true. I only recently like Braga because Dave Pereira, to be honest.
I've never had a problem with Braga. I always do a Karimo. I always do a FIFA Karimo with Braga because
I celebrated. Remember that GIF of us punching the Braga fan in the face?
Yeah,
I celebrated that like a goal, to be honest.
Like we just scored a game winner.
But anyways, my thing on Braga, I just hope that on Arsenal, which are the Gunners. Braga is the Gunners, right?
They're probably not for Arsenal.
Right. On that, I really hope we beat them because I also have a buddy who's a diehard Arsenal fan, and I couldn't wait. I can't wait to just banter him. He's minding his own business constantly, but I'll banter the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh, if we get united, like I can't be friends with my buddy for like a couple weeks.
Exactly.
Like, it's gonna be like, look, we can't watch a game together. I'm sorry. I like United, but I'm choosing Sporting first. I'm sorry, dude. Like I'm picking my hill to die on.
Of course. Just quickly, I'm going to go into this only one Twitter question that'll bring us on to the next topic. At Roy RCTF, fellow Canuck, shout out to Roy. He just asks, why do we always make it sound like we sell players to pay the electrical bills? The poor narrative is getting tiring. Speaking of that, we had the RNC come out. Let me bring up this graphic here as well. But Chris, I'll pass it off to you. You're our finance guy. What were your thoughts on what you looked through? Some interesting things. Bellerin looks like he's a permanent deal, for example.
It looks
what
like
were your thoughts?
I'm like
Chris in the call for you because he's not on the call for me.
I'm like looking at it. It
says
I'm
gonna leave the studio and come back then. Give me a minute.
Sounds good.
Might be my internet.
It says Bellerin's on a permanent in the RNC. I'm looking at it, and then literally like 4 hours later, there's the cover of Ojogu's like Sporting trying to make the loan permanent. It's like, bro, is he not on?
Yeah.
Is it a loan with it? It's like, and here's the thing: if it's a loan with an obligatory option to buy, that makes no sense because his contract is up. So it's like I do not understand unless he extended his contract with Barcelona. But I really think that he's on a permanent. Like I'm pretty sure. Now.
I have the RNC here. Let me just quickly.
Is this Bellerin?
We have no idea how long his contract is or salary or anything. But I guess like a slight piece of the puzzle was, determined. I mean, here's the thing. I feel like at the end of the day, like the reason that at the end of the day the number is so good, the plus 47 million overall result, the reason it's so good is because of player sales, right? And if you look at the player purchases during this window, Sotiris, 4 million. St. Just is not included. Sorry, St. Just is not included on this because he was signed prior to July 1st.
Yes. This
report starts July 1st. So in this window, the players that were purchased: Sotiris, 4 million. Morita, 3.45. Artur Gomes, 2.9. Rashinha, 2. Diogo Abreu, 1.2. Franco Israel, 648K. And 10% of Ugarte, 2 million. 16.2 million.
Yeah, across like 7 dudes.
Million in sales. I mean, there's a reason we're in fourth, right?
Yeah.
The reason we're in fourth is because, I mean, you could say, 16 million plus Ugarte, it's about like, 30 million. That's like a decent investment. Like, it is on paper like a decent amount of investment, But it also it isn't. And as I said, Sotir, the most expensive player that I just named, Sotir is $4 million. Does not play and is not even relatively.
He's in B team purgatory.
Clearly, we're just talking about options to sub in for Pedro Gonçalves in the midfield, and he literally didn't even cross my mind because he's simply not even an actual option for the manager.
Yeah,
Ken Longo is literally more of an option in 1 month,
and he's been here. He's been here for like a month.
In like month 9 now. So yeah, I mean, the money that was invested in this team this season didn't work out that well, and overall it wasn't that much. And then the critical players were mostly taken away.
Yeah, like you didn't have a like-for-like replacement for Mateus
players like Adan are just like the players that are still staying. Kawats, Adan, just kind of deteriorating a little bit.
No Luis Neto at all because of
Luis Neto doesn't exist anymore. I would say Mateus Reis, despite not being bad, has kind of returned to earth more this season.
He's just bang average now.
Bang average, which is fine, right?
It's okay.
Not supposed to be a star or anything, but like, I mean, I feel like that was the sacrifice that was made for this headline.
Yeah. They made minimal investment.
Right. Obviously, a lot of money still owed by the end of the year. A lot of money just in debt overall. Obviously,
how much in debt are we? Like how much?
320 million, and it was 340 million in the last report. So it actually went down.
So it's gone down quite a bit.
I'm not going to say that having that much, it's good. Obviously, like it could be worse, right? But it's obviously
it could always be worse. But
yeah, and I think that the one thing to note that's also like a positive development from this is that if you look at the 2021 column for Capitais Proprios, the fourth one down, Sporting last report negative 32 million. This report
31.5. We've almost completely
That's very good,
it.
And that is directly tied to the VMOC repurchase, just owning a higher percentage of your own shares. The squad value increased a bit, and just the total value of their assets went up, which is good. That's good.
Yeah.
Porto's directly next to us, minus 122 million. Yikes, lads!
Wow.
Yikes, lads!
And every year, Porto's in like discussions
Porto,
for
honestly,
getting sanctioned for
probably
FFP.
has the worst.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Porto,
what are they doing with their money?
Porto have been flirting with financial fair play for a few years now. In terms of
almost a decade, I feel like.
Yeah. So obviously,
transfer market
and a lot of payments. A lot of what's been able to the great advancements that were able to be made. The Capitais Proprios, for example, like been able to be done with money advanced from the TV contract from the previous administration. Without the NOS contract,
we're fucked.
I don't know how.
Without the NOS contract, we're screwed.
I don't know how much any of this happens. Like anything happens without the NOS contract. If we don't make the Champions League next season, that's going to be a major.
That's going to be a big blow because that's like 30-40 million immediately not coming in.
So they'd have to sell an extra player then, So, but as we kind of get down here, we're going to start to realize that the players that are the highest value on the squad that are the next up to sell, they're closer to 50% than they are to 100% of pass. So, things. I feel like things are kind of coming to a head. And yeah, I mean, this July to December on paper, done well, I guess, if you're cool with
on paper it looks okay. In practice it's not.
Selling your best player kind of late in the window.
Twice.
And not really buying that, investing that much, and what you do invest in doesn't really hit that much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, this is the outcome. But, I mean, I'm not going to say that. I've seen RNCs that are a lot more frightening than this one, I guess.
This isn't the worst. This is far from the worst case scenario, but it's still not the most ideal scenario. It's nice to know that we did cut like 20 plus million or whatever out of the debt, but 300+ million in debt is still.
It's still 100 million owed by the end of the year.
It's still an absurd amount of debt to be in for anybody. Like,
I'm gonna be
unbelievable.
I'm gonna be real here. I think many clubs operate in debt anyways.
Yeah,
I think they know exactly what they're doing. It's not. We're never gonna get to a point where it's $0.
Benfica's been in debt for like 35 years.
You run into problems if you get into Barcelona's zone where you
you've spammed money too much and suddenly they're like, no, you just can't do this. Like, I'm sorry, we need to stop you from yourselves.
Exactly. How about Porto and Benfica? We still have less debt than them, or we still have less debt than them.
Benfica's been in debt since like before I was born. They've been in debt for 35 years.
But which is normal though. They're a club that operates. You play the people first. The club is in debt. It's not. You know what I mean? It's not going to stop us from making big purchases, or it shouldn't be what stops us from making big purchases. If we're debating on putting 20 million towards the debt or 20 million on a player, I hope we make the right decision and put 20 million on a player because it can benefit
put 15 million on a dude and put 5 to the debt. Like, you can still get some pretty good players.
That's exactly what I mean, bro. You pay the monthly interest. It is what it is. You take.
I feel like it's just they don't always know how to prioritize their spending at the wrong times. There's a time and place for both situations, and I feel like they don't judge that very well.
With that being said, I hope this clip doesn't bite me in the ass when I run for Sporting president one day and they start throwing up this old clip of me talking shit about how to deal with finances, even though that's like not what you do.
Yeah,
that's not what you do. But anyways, but yeah, overall on this. Are we content? Are we?
It's okay.
Seems a lot less fishy. Also, I must also say, maybe that's us not dealing with George Mendes as much.
I like the part in the first 10 pages where they're going through the highlights of the What is the financial term for a half? Is it half a semester? Because it's not a quarter, right? It's half. This is a half report.
Yeah, it's like a midterm report almost.
Biannual? I don't fucking know. All right,
this would be like your midterm report.
Yeah, I guess they're looking at their biannual highlights and redoing the tribuna. The box is in the presidential suite area, and
that's important.
Was one of their stacks, and I was like, let's go. Cool. Sporting corporate is on the come up. Brand new area for them.
Jackets.
Let's go. Man. And it made me realize actually that when I was there in September and did the stadium tour, that when I went through the presidential hall area, that it was redone.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not up there too much, so I don't remember what it looked like before really. When I did the tour when I was 12. But yeah, I mean, good for them. Enjoy, lads.
Facts.
And if I run for Sporting president,
the stadium might be empty, but the box is always full.
If I run for Sporting president, everybody gets Metakuja. Fuck it, we're gonna treat the fans right because you're gonna need it to watch this team. You're gonna need some liquor to watch this team some days, I'm sure.
Metakuja is definitely the most elite flavor of small. Let's see, where do I take this now, boys?
New League Cup format, kind of confirmed today at the because the leagues had their summit, I guess, of all the league clubs. So we had Salvador saying, hey, we should really get ready for centralizing TV rights soon because this is Mickey Mouse, how we do it now. And no one really knew what to make of it. But I'm like, yeah, he's not wrong. We should have already had centralized TV. And then new League Cup format. So it is going to be contested.
RIP NOS contract.
RIP NOS contract. It'll suck for a bit, but the hope would be that eventually it would level out.
Parity, yeah. But
you need if you're gonna grow the league, we need to get some form of parity. I'm sorry, and yeah, it will suck short term, but we have to play a little bit of long term.
Some leagues do that with the European money. They pull it, and then I think the Dutch league. The Dutch league has shot past us. So maybe we should do what they're doing.
We should most leagues now, say for us in Spain. Centralize their TV rights, and
how do you think Brighton can just drop 50 million?
Because there's equity. There's some form of equity among the teams, right? That's why Premier League shot past everyone and is not slowing down because any given Sunday, any team can beat anybody. Yes, it will suck very short term to centralize TV rights. I'm not discounting the financial side of that.
From the sporting perspective.
For Sporting, for any of the bigger clubs, especially Sporting, it would suck. Long term, though, we're gonna wish we did it sooner.
Yeah,
because it's going to help the profile. It's going to help it.
On BTV. That is absurd. Man.
That's
ridiculous.
That's so stupid.
Portugal went too far, bro, with that. Because that is honestly.
And they can't. And their international like contracts like suck. Like to try to find a game outside of Portugal is brutal. Like RTP gets one game a week.
Individual club buy the rights to their home game.
Yeah. Like if you're living abroad, especially accessing Liga Portugal games is near impossible. It's like you have to jump through hoops. Like RTP, if you get RTP, you get one game a week.
One game a week.
And it's never a Benfica home game, so that eliminates a bunch of games right off the bat. And it usually isn't any of the big three home games. No, it's usually outside. It's a big three game home game, but it's never a Benfica home game, and it's never a derby game.
Oh, of course, but I'm saying usually last week it was a Sporting game.
This week's a Sporting game too.
But away from home. I'm saying usually 9 times out of 10 it's like Porto away, Sporting away, Benfica away. That's what our RTP will play. Other than that, you're fucked. Unless you have Football TV. If you have Football TV, you can catch Benfica home games because they have Benfica TV on it, which is
and they used to have all the league games, which is why we subbed to Football, and then they never told us that they didn't renew the license. So we wanted to watch a game. Like, why can't I only just watch the Benfica game? I want to watch like the Porto game or the Sporting game or whatever. So I'm like, screw this, cancel. So like make it easy and make it like affordable. I have no problem paying for your service, but for the love of God, if you're gonna do that, like there's a reason people will sail the high seas and pirate your games.
To be fair, Chris is more in luck because Chris has you have Gold TV down there, right?
Yeah,
we have Gold TV.
You get to talk. You get to hear my fucking favorite junk Mexican uncle.
Only through certain cable providers.
Fair. I figured as much.
But you don't.
We don't get Gold TV anymore.
Canada's like this, like for
you have to pay for the package basically.
Yeah.
No, you can't choose your provider. It like in your county or your area, it's like
we have some of that.
Your electric company, like there's only one. Like,
we have some of that. So there's certain companies that will have like exclusivity. So like Rogers, for example, has access in Toronto, right, Danny?
Well, no, I have Bell. We can pick and choose.
Oh no, we have Bell here, but Rogers doesn't operate like in my part of Ontario. Like we're just out of like where because Cogeco is the provider here, so they hold
so basically kind of the TV subscription that I get one of two choices. One is like the shite version, and then one's like the good brand.
Yeah.
But the good brand that I have doesn't carry Gold TV. So even if I wanted to buy like the special package,
it wouldn't be there. Yeah.
And it's through no fault of my own. If I moved to like a place, or but like I also could get Direct TV, but like I rent, like I can't just put a fucking satellite dish.
No, satellite's expensive too.
Yeah,
like, my parents have satellites. So expensive.
It's so out of date now too. Who the fuck has a satellite dish?
Yeah, so
my parents still have satellite. I'm like, bro, please switch. Like you're getting ripped off.
Get them an Android box already, bro.
But I've heard that honestly, on Apple TV is like top tier. The extra content is top tier.
Yeah.
What is on Apple
MLS
TV?
MLS. All their games are like Apple TV now.
Yeah.
I've heard really, really good reviews about it.
I've heard a lot of positive things.
Me too.
Also, our game presentation sucks. Like the broadcast presentation from Sport TV is so minimal effort.
Yeah, it's pretty mid.
Like there's nothing at halftime. They show the highlights and it's the same loop of like 10 fucking commercials.
Which is whatever though, make your money, you know what I mean? Without those commercials, where would Sport TV be?
But for the love of God, like put some effort into it. Like, come on.
Nah, there's some fire Portuguese commercials. None come to mind right now, but I've seen some commercials.
There was one betting commercial that was kind of funny.
It really is.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was brought up at the meetings. Like, hey, we need to like deal with this at some point because like we're gonna need to like if clubs are gonna survive, we need to do this.
The problem is I want to see. Well, I mean, I guess we're seeing it, but it's more so the greed of the big three.
They've run it. They've always been very content, and we're guilty of this too as the club. They've been very content to run it like a fiefdom between them. It's unfortunate, but that's been the case.
Yeah.
Okay. Poor Nani, man.
Reading back, Lauren, he needs to retire.
Lord, I'm sorry. Like, I love
dude, his
Nani's.
ACL he doesn't need surgery.
Yeah, I know.
Nani's one of my favorite players, but like
he's gotten the injections.
Got nothing left.
He'll be back, bro. He's gonna be back in 6 months.
Boys, one last thing I want to talk about before I pass it off to you guys in terms of anything else is obviously our big 5-1. Nice. It came out nice there. Big 5-1 win. Fatawu looking like the African pacey fucking Arjen Robben in that left foot.
Went off.
Matheus Fernandes with that incredible goal. Boys, are we winning the Champions League? I won't even say Youth Champions League. Are we winning the Champions League? Point blank period. Roberto Martinez there. Did
we get Liverpool? Yeah, Roberto was.
Yeah, we got Liverpool. We got Liverpool, who lost to this Ajax team, by the way.
Hopefully, we can start stacking like everyone. We get Tramiti in there.
Yep.
Yeah, to stack the deck.
We get Fatawu out there, bro.
Ribeiro got a goal, right?
Ribeiro, Fernandes, bro. Esteves. I mean, we got a good squad.
Yeah, Esteves, true. That's one thing I forgot to mention on Estoril. I wish Esteves played against Estoril. Because from what I seen playing against them, they had no right side. I don't know what the hell happened there.
Asugu too, right?
Yeah. Asugu's out from injury though, I think. But
I think he just came back.
Or he just came back this game or something.
Yeah, this is his first game back.
But yeah, a big 5-1 win.
It'd be cool.
It'd be nice. It'd be a nice little feather in the cap.
Right? Have we ever won it?
No. Benfica's the only Portuguese. Benfica and Porto have both won it. We've not.
Yeah.
It'd be nice. It'd be a nice little thing. But yeah, it's good. I'll take it. It was a nice 5-1 win. You never have complaints over that. It's good for the young boys.
7 a.m. kickoff.
Yeah, I was at work wondering why everybody in like my group chat was like going nuts. Like, what? What do you mean we're playing? I'm like, oh, it's youth league. I was very confused.
Yeah, bro. I woke up to that Arjen Robben banger, bro. Oh my god. Anyways, what else do we have here? Chris, I'll pass off to you. I know you had a long list of things there.
Yeah, I just have some random shit that I took note of that happened over the past week, such as Rashinga being MIA. I was looking at the pictures of training today, and there wasn't any that had him. So I was looking to at least confirm he's alive. Can't do so at this time.
Confirm.
But yeah, hoping that he's all right, man.
We're gonna be looking at if he might turn up on a milk carton soon. That's right.
I guess we could talk about Pyrogate 2.0.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is what happened. Like, from my perspective, and you can chime in if you think something different happened, but this is what I think happened. We have Michelin Stadium was small. I'm gonna say that was like
it is a very small compact.
It was like a 12K-er, and it was pretty tiny. So the Sporting fans were loud. Obviously we have good, more rambunctious road support. It seems like these days than home support. So keeping with that trend, we have great traveling support. It's a European game, appealing country to go to. So yeah, there's good support. There's a pyro show. People are complimenting it. They're happy about it. And obviously, like, this admin is very anti. They're basically they're backing the government, right? The government backs the fan card. The government created the anti-pyro law, so they're backing the government. So they're very anti-pyro as a result of that, and they're also just anti-clock, anti-fan, anti-ultra. So it's not that easy or not that difficult for them to just take that position, right?
Yeah.
It's almost the natural position for them. At football games, sometimes things happen. People yell at each other, or maybe someone throws a bottle or a lighter.
Someone takes something too far.
Football fans are football fans, and sometimes random little incidents happen. And a lot of the time, if the incident is not serious, like, is the steward really gonna report every little tiny fucking thing that happens? No, they don't do that, because they know that actual bad things can happen, like fights and people running on the field and fans clashing outside the stadium. Like, these are actual things that happen semi-frequently. So, like, those are the things we need to worry about. And, like, these little tiny incidents, while they may constantly go on, aren't reported and are just kind of baked into, like, humans existing at sporting events, right? People yelling.
Because there's always
So there is some sort of
that
little
does
incident
something
that
stupid,
happens.
right?
There's a video I'd record of, like, a guy throwing a flare, and, like, he probably went near somebody, and maybe, like, a little spark went up, and, like, it got on their jacket. They brushed it off, and the steward came over. Maybe they needed, like, a bandage. Maybe like someone else saw it happen, and they're like, "Oh yeah," and then it, like, a rumor develops, right? And, like, this tiny little incident that, like, yeah, something did happen because
something happened. Like
these little tiny things happen all the time.
People reached out to the club, and it was shared on Twitter multiple times. And the club said,
then,
"Yeah, there was, like, an accident, but, like, people were tended to on site, and they didn't go anywhere."
Just gets this exclusive report that's obviously a leak from the club, right?
Yeah.
Because we know that all their leaks come directly from the club, and it's like, there's an incident with pyro, and, you know, sporting fans are arrested in Denmark for it. And
no,
it's just that it ends up being not true. And I don't know, man. It was like a really transparent incident, I feel like, where it's just like, everyone can see what you're doing here, what you tried to do. And honestly, it didn't hit, to be honest. Like, it couldn't.
No, a lot of people saw through it.
And then rather than just kind of either just dropping it, or maybe like, yeah, I probably would have just never spoke about it again.
No, they doubled down.
They doubled down on it, and they're like, "Here's this video," and it's a guy, and then you don't even see where the flare lands. It's just a video of a guy throwing a flare.
Yeah.
I don't know what that video is supposed to prove, especially when the match report says there's no incident. Like, I don't know, man. It's really stupid. It's really transparent that they're just trying to.
It proves that guy was kind of dumb for throwing a flare, but that's it.
How much of a stranglehold they have on the media, especially. Because they'll just tell them, and they'll just fucking print it, man.
And they'll be like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah.
Because they don't want to stop getting the scoops, right? They want to keep getting their scoops. They want to get on the good. They want to keep on the club's good side.
But also, you know, it provided a really good contrast. Like, you got the pyro fans over here in the cage. And then the jacket boys. You got us in trouble along the sideline. Yeah, and everyone got mad at me because I tweeted that, and some people tried to misinterpret it and say that, like, I thought this is what
They thought we were, like, massive populists.
This is what our page thinks. But it's just like bro, they ride for the jacket boys, and they fucking hate the cage boys. And if you disagree with that, like, I don't know what more evidence you need, you know?
Yeah, it's very much, yeah, like, people were, like, calling us populists and stuff, like, ripping on us, like the 160 boys caught in the crossfire, and they had nothing to do with it. It's like, leave them alone. Like,
I mean, a couple thousand. I think I got like 2K likes, so, like, a fair amount of people
got the message.
Agreed, I guess, right?
Yeah, like, this administration's very much been anti-clock from pretty much the beginning. Like, it's like, if an incident did happen, but they overblew and just flat out lied, and that's where the issue comes in. Is they're not being truthful to their fans. Like, that shows such a little disregard and, like, disrespect for the fan base that they would blatantly lie through the media that this was such a serious incident. There was an incident, yes, absolutely. People reached out to Meet Jailand directly, and their director of communications, there was multiple tweets people shared across the social medias, that there was an incident at the stadium with pyro. 2 people were attended to medically or whatever, but it was nothing serious. No one was arrested, and no one was taken to hospital. And the club completely disregarded that and put out, nope, like, there was arrests made and people were, like, seriously injured. It's like, no, like, that's not really that's not true. And that's the problem. They're blatantly lying to fans. And all you do is to further alienate the fans. We saw the attendance against Estoril. They couldn't fill half that stadium. 22K. Are you kidding me? There are NHL teams that play in arenas that get that type of attendance.
Which just brings back to James's point here. Like,
but they've had, like, a couple attendances now, 25, 20. Like, I bet the average is probably getting closer to 25K.
This is like reminding me of, like, late 2000s, early 2010s, like, shambles. where like it was just embarrassing.
And the only thing
at
on
least,
this
at least then we had the colored seats to kind of hide it.
The only thing on this that just doesn't make sense to me on how they blow things out of proportion. It's like you're already in this war. The stadium already looks empty as it is. Why not just try to mend things? Like, why not? Why are you lying about this?
Keep doubling down.
It's crazy.
They just keep doubling down. It's like they're like, no, we made our bed.
They've had multiple opportunities, I feel like, to like extend an olive branch.
Yeah.
They just don't want to.
And I mean,
this is their hill to die on.
I don't think they're like I do. I remember even coming here and even Steph saying, and I agreeing with him a lot, and I was agreeing with him a lot, I should say. In terms of like the Clash need to, we need to reduce their power in certain things. 100%.
You know what? You're absolutely right.
But it shouldn't be a battle against the Clash. It should be working with the Clash
relationship with
because like if we look at stadiums in Germany and atmospheres in Germany, like we at one point I can confidently say we had the best atmosphere in Portugal. And now our atmosphere starts in minute 1 when we sing O Mundo Sabe Que, and then it dies after that because obviously there's nobody in the stadium. There's nothing going on. There's no tifos or anything like that. It's embarrassing at this point, I think.
It's sad to see.
And James has it spot on against Arsenal. I mean, we already heard it against Ajax and against Tottenham.
That's the
I mean, Michelin's whatever, but I'm saying like the bigger teams, the Tottenham, the Ajax.
They're like, what's with that one empty section?
Exactly. And it's going to be even more on display when we're playing against the first place team in
that game is going to be the game that everybody shows.
Exactly.
That's going to be their first choice game.
Exactly. And again,
not even everyone shows for the big games.
No.
Everyone shows like 40K.
And I'm so sick and tired of this excuse of, mas 8 horas num domingo. It's like, so? What the fuck? Have you ever seen the Maple Leafs, the Raptors, I'm going to say in Toronto, bro,
they play at like 7, 8 o'clock at night, and those games are sold the hell out.
And I'll even go one further. Toronto FC and Philadelphia Union, probably the third or fourth biggest team in their city, have way more attendance to seat ratio than Sporting does.
I went to see Toronto FC last year. Me and some friends drove up to watch a game.
It's always packed.
They had like it's like a 30-some K stadium.
Less than
it
that.
was
It's
like almost
28,
full. And it was just about full.
And it's constantly full. Whether it's snowing, whether it's cold as fuck. I went to go see fucking a few years ago. Okay, this is obviously the Champions League, but I went to go see a few Champions League games when we were playing Tigres. We played. Who else did we play? Chivas. It was negative 15 outside, and the stadium was packed, bro.
People went. We went to the freaking Canada game in January.
At 8 p.m.
And exactly that. And it's a Wednesday at 8 p.m. too. It's not like we don't fucking work, bro. The cost of living here in Toronto is ridiculous.
Bro, like people can't afford to live here.
So these excuses of why players, and it's just like, also look at the season we've been having. That's more of a fucking no, it's not fair. That's even more of a fucking reason to show up. Because at least demand more from these players. When the fuck have we become a club that demands or that expects constantly winning? My whole life, we haven't won that much.
We've won. I can count on 2 hands the trophies we won in my lifetime that I can vividly remember. I remember the 2 tosses and super tosses. I remember the 8-year trophy drought. I remember the couple cups and Mickey Mouse League cups and the championship. That's it. We won nothing.
Exactly. But even more so than that, we've always had atmospheres under Bruno Carvalho. Even prior to Bruno Carvalho, a bit prior to Bruno Carvalho, we had players, we had people coming out, bro. I remember a packed stadium followed by the Lençóis Brancos against fucking when it was for Paulo Bento, for example.
Yeah,
I don't buy these excuses that they're throwing out. Why are we extending an olive branch to the administration in terms of our attendance? When they don't do the same, when they're the ones that are fucking around, it seems like
they don't value the fans.
Exactly. So it just doesn't make sense to me on that. And it's something else in terms of, and it's just monetary. Like you're making more money from ticket sales. I don't understand this open war constantly against the fans, especially when things are turning down. To me, all this is just showing that okay, we're losing now. Let's take the attention away from us. Let's fucking blame whatever on Clash,
Yeah.
and the reason why we're in this is Clash. Even last week or 2 weeks ago, when it seemed like it was players against the club or players against the fans,
Yeah.
I never seen it that way at all in my life. I know some fucking weirdo kid. I know it's Sam's boy, but some weirdo kid posted fucking Edwards DMs. I don't know if that's real or fake.
Oh
or
yeah,
whatever. I think that hurts. I think that hurts the image of the club more than anything else.
Yeah,
but I'm saying like this open war, it just doesn't make sense. But I digress.
I think you made a really good point too, Danny, about like the clocks. Like, hey, like, yeah, they shouldn't have power, but like, work with them. It should be a working relationship.
Exactly.
And I don't. And look, I've come on the show many times that I've criticized the clocks too, saying, hey, we shouldn't have stupid fuckhead behavior. But like Chris and I have both said, there's ways you can nip it in the bud early, and there's ways to do it, and you won't have those problems down the line. It's easier than they're making it.
Yeah, facts. And James is spot on there. I was there for that game. I joined them in applauding the team. It's not like
that's a year. That's like just over a year ago. Like, come on, people.
Yeah. Anyways,
it's sad. I think it's just like the administration has very little regard for not just Clash, but I think just the average fan, and it's just becoming more apparent, and it's sad to see. It is what it is. Like it sucks, but it's just kind of the period we're in right now. But like, who's gonna take who challenges them in his next election? Like who's coming up? Like
here's the thing: the fan base and the clocks themselves are so fractured that they themselves can't even mount any sort of opposition themselves.
No, because there's no agreement among anybody.
It's a result of a very successful divide and conquer strategy.
Yeah,
like we are living like, say what you will about Varandas, but his divide and conquer strategy has worked.
Yeah,
it has nullified any sort of opposition. He's got the media on his side in a way that they have never been on the side of Sporting in my entire lifetime.
He's got a certain section of the fans that will be his ride or die.
Power and fractured the fuck out of his opposition.
Yeah.
So it's working, I guess, but for me, the average fan, I think that we deserve better.
I think the average fan just deserves so much better, and it's sad. I feel like it's slowly starting to cater to a very specific set of match-going fan, and a lot of more the average working class fans are being left behind, and it's sad. It's kind of like it's funny because it's almost going back to what Sporting was upon founding, which was the club of the royalty, right? And then there was a period where
roots, maybe.
Yeah, that was the roots. We're going back to the Alvalade days, the Strop days, right? And there was a time, and then there was kind of a time where, and like Benfica was the club of the people, and there was a long period of time where that kind of shifted a bit, and Benfica was kind of the big supported club, and they had a lot of affluent people, and we were kind of more the club of the hard workers. And now it's almost flip reverse back, where we're like, screw it, we want a very specific type of match going fan. And it sucks because the average Joe or average Maria is kind of being not pushed out, but kind of implied like, hey, you're not really one of us, you know.
Spot on, boys. Spot on. What else, boys?
We had new League Cup format, which is just it's basically just the Final Four now.
And I read that that's also to combat a new Champions League reformatting, which is going to have more games in the Champions League. So,
which is like whatever, but like at this point, like just
get rid
of the
League Cup. I mean,
just get rid of it at this point.
It's
and
not going to increase the value of the trophy.
No, just honestly get rid of it.
It actually had the most teams it's ever had, and in 2 years, it's going to have the least amount of teams it's ever had. So
at this point, like. Get rid of the trophy. If you want more
a 2-game trophy is not a real trophy.
If you want to create
it's like when they make the Super Cup. The Spanish made the Super Cup 4 teams. It's like
I'd rather that.
Yeah.
It's basically the Super Cup on steroids, basically. If they
it's just all they want is
bag of Porto every year.
Yeah, all they want is more match between the big four. Which I mean, if you want it, like sure, go ahead. I guess like cool. You're just continuing to compound further issues, like and financial inequality. But go for it. I'm gonna say it. People, I might get slated for this, but fuck it. We're here. We're live. I said just if you really want more games between the big three in Braga, just do a playoff for the league title at this point and get rid of the League Cup and create some fucking chaos at least.
I mean, I think that you could probably do a playoff. I mean, it doesn't add more games. It just shifts the second half of the season to being the same teams, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, you could do like an MLS. Well, I was saying like you could do like an MLS. You could do like an MLS style playoff, right? Not like to that gargantuan stature, but you could do like the top 6.
That's how the Belgian league does it, right?
They do something like that.
I was gonna say in Holland they have ninth basically placed 9th to 5th or something. They play each other for like a European
top half and the bottom half, yeah.
But they only play for like the last European spot. So it'll be 5th place against 9th, 6th against 7th. Or sorry, 8th against 5th, whatever.
I'm okay. I'm okay even if we do. I'm okay even if we wanted to do like because we get like 5 or 6 European spots anyways. Do like the
last
top
one.
Do like the top. Do like the top 6, and you could do like a mini playoff tournament there, kind of thing, after the league season's done, and that's how you determine your European spot.
I feel like they just finished reformatting the top 3 divisions. They reformatted Liga 3. They got Liga 2 down to 18 teams.
Yeah.
Are they really gonna change it again?
I don't think they should. Personally,
I feel like we're in year 1 of the full new professional format. You know.
Yeah.
We are. Yeah. We very much are. But I feel like if you're gonna do anything, just at that point scrap the trophy. It's meaningless, and just figure out a way to do. I'd rather like some sort of playoff format for the Primeira Liga.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Remember, we were talking about them giving the Taça Liga European spot. Imagine if they did, and then they just changed it to this. It's like, I mean, it would be idiot. I mean, it would mean nothing because most likely those teams already have European spots anyways. But
yeah, like they're not gonna care.
Yeah,
it's like England. Man United won the League Cup, and it's like great. And for them, it was great because it was their first trophy in a while. But like, they've got Champions Leagues locked up, pretty much for next year. Like, I don't see them falling out of top 4, right?
I mean, they can win the Europa League too, which is another way in.
Yeah,
like
they're fine. They're just playing to say, "Fuck it, we want trophies now." But like, that's what the League Cup's basically going to be now.
I think it's also just a good platform for the rest of the season. I mean, Mourinho fucking made his career off of winning League Cups in January to like galvanize the squad, right? I mean, we were campeões de inverno like back-to-back years, you know what I mean? Like, and that meant something, you know what I mean? At the end of the day,
because we hadn't won anything in so long, we were like, we'll take it.
Not even that. It's not even that because it meant something even after we won the league the following year. Yeah. It's just more so. It's the first. It's special to me because it's the first trophy to win, and you could win it. If you don't win it, it's not the end of the world, right?
No, that's always been my view of the Portuguese League Cup and any tertiary cup competition is. It's nice to win it, but it's not the end of the world if you lose.
Exactly. And I don't think it has to be anything revolutionized like this. Like, I think they've put in way too much thought into the Taça da Liga, and they haven't put enough thought in terms of how are we going to stop, like, Bill and Minch, for example, for splitting up as a club, or for Estrela da Amadora to no longer exist.
And have to start from scratch.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. To watch about Estrela da Amadora. If they end up in the top 3, I bet that there's a reasonable chance that they get disqualified.
They might.
It'll just shift it down, you know? And so I would say that the top 3 have kind of separated themselves, and then 4, 5, 6, and 7 is a bit of a way. But that 4th spot could be important, even if you're 10 points off 3rd, because Estrela da Amadora, I can see them getting disqualified.
Yeah, they could say no. They could say no.
Getting relegated or whatever. Like, so close to Primeira, but I mean, also so close to the fucking Distritais, you know? Again.
Exactly. I use them as an example, but even another one is Desportivo de Chaves. How did they win the
last game they played as a club?
Bro, they made the Taça Portugal, couldn't afford to get into Europe, which is a joke. And then disbanded within like a year or 2.
But hey, let's get the big 3 more games.
Worry more about that, and worry less about the fucking Taça da Liga. Because I think this year, big success. And I'm a Sporting fan who lost in the final.
It was so fun. There was a lot of chaos.
Amazing. More teams in it. More teams with a chance to win.
Like
Benfica was out. Benfica was out after the group
group of all second division teams.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what makes it amazing.
That's the beauty of cup football, because it's like it's any given day. Like anybody can have their day.
And if the excuse is that there's too many games played, then scrap it.
Then just get rid of it and don't worry about it. Like it's done. And that's like you said, Danny. Like they're so focused on catering to the same 3 and 4 teams, they're neglecting every other team. It's like, no, teams are dying because you don't give a shit about them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like open face, just you don't care. And this is a symptom of your own. This is a product of your own doing. Like this could all have been avoided.
I think Dave Pereira says it best when he says, "How many teams are there in the league? 20, right?" He says 17 greater than 3, some shit like that.
Yeah,
something like that. But anyways, that's that. Anything else that I missed, boys, before we wrap things up?
I'm trying to think if we have any Modalidad stuff. I know Eric, Scott, and Geek might be done.
They already clinched a spot in the round of 16, so there was a draw. I don't remember the team's name that they drew, but there was a draw for round of 16 of European Handball League.
Yeah,
a few futsal players leaving, right? Eric
is rumored now too. Yeah,
it was out before, and then they convinced him to come back or something.
Yeah,
now it seems like he's out for real now.
Yeah.
Eric Mendoza seems like he's out for real.
Yeah.
But also today we got rumors that they basically already have a pre-contract agreement with a new goalkeeper. He's a Brazilian. He's 30 years old. He plays in Spain. He's out of contract. He'll come on a free. He doesn't play with gloves at all. I don't know.
I'm sorry. I played futsal as a keeper. I could never not go with gloves. My hands were raw at one time.
Don't wear gloves, but
which blows my mind.
Fingers is the way to go.
It blows my mind because I played futsal for like years, and like I tried like without gloves one time, and my hands were raw. Like I guess they just build up a tolerance, like a callus or something. But I needed the gloves, man. I'm a wimp.
Also, there's rumors that Tainan is going to come back as well.
Tainan, that's a name.
Yeah, who was always a boss, honestly, when he was on Sporting.
Yeah, he was part of the Champions League squad a couple years ago when they won.
Aston Villa linked to Pot, Liverpool linked to Inacio.
Yeah.
Jose Marsa impressing at Sporting.
He's killing it.
He's doing well.
I'm cheesed. I'm so cheesed.
Roberto Martinez at Alvalade, then at European Youth League the next day.
Paulinho call up inbound.
No, there's been just quickly on that. There's been I don't know if it's like a rumor or maybe I just read it once, but Roberto Martinez wants to implement because he's played 3 at the back with Belgium. He's thinking of implementing doing that the same with. So we have like the wing backs, like the midfielder. We have like a lot of the players for it.
Race for his back 3.
Yeah, that's true.
And he was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
He was trying to figure out if he could convert.
Months ago, when Matthias Race was like, "I'm going to make the national team."
No, I forget about that completely. That's escaped my mind.
Yeah, maybe he was looking at Inacio, but also maybe not.
It was probably Inacio and maybe Pot.
And maybe Trincão. And maybe Nuno Santos. And maybe Paulinho.
I don't know about
maybe
Schmidti.
Nah, dude.
Anyways.
You lost it, Paulinho. You brought me back to Nuno Santos. You lost it, Schmidti. But yeah, well, we have it's interesting because like we do have a lot of like certainly at wing back and like from wing back and midfielders we have the players to do a 3 at the back.
Yeah, no, I'm even saying
we're a little short on center backs because like it's
if you think about it,
Ruben Diaz, and then there's kind of a drop.
There's Diog Late. There's
I don't think Diog Late's that great.
Inacio, bro, he's been killing it for Berlin this year.
True. I forget he's on that team.
And close to winning the league, and he's been a dominant figure there. So we have the center backs. We may not even need the center backs because he might play out like Nuno Mendes at left center back or some shit like that. So
could you imagine?
Juan Casillo at right center back, bro. That'd be fucking hilarious.
With Pep still in the middle at like 80 years old.
Yeah.
Dude's gonna be like on a cane, but like as soon as he steps on the pitch, he turns 25 again. As soon as he crosses the threshold, it's like some magic just takes him over, and it's like an out of body experience.
Or he just breaks a player's leg and somehow doesn't get a red card.
Dude, or that, like a twig. Yeah.
Perfect.
And the last thing that I've got, I don't know. I just looked up his name. I don't know if you remember. After Sporting removed the rainbow seats.
Yeah, I remember.
architect. His name's Tomas Taveda.
Okay.
Oh, he put up a stink, didn't he?
Where he was like freaking out about them, like altering his design.
Well, his whole design
Looking with
sucked.
his design. Now, no one tell Tomas this, but the last couple of days there's been spotting of removal of tiles outside of Alvalade.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Is going to freak out.
Our stadium, out of all the stadiums at the Euros, was just the weirdest and ugliest of all the stadiums.
His bio on Wikipedia, when you Google his name, it says he's known for his colorful stadium design.
Well, because he designed like three or four stadiums. He designed Alvalade.
The guy who builds colorful stadiums, he built them a colorful stadium.
He was the Alvalade. He did, I think, the Municipal de Aveiro. He definitely did Leiria.
No way he didn't do Leiria as well.
Because they're all the same. They're all so similar.
It was all for the Euros.
They're all so similar in terms of the colors, but also like the actual architecture and like layout of the stadium.
The thing is I kind of like the tiles, sadly, but
yeah,
I don't hate the tiles. I hate the moat and the colored seats. I wish we had a Vato's stadium, but on a bigger scale, because their stadium has a more makes sense layout.
The thing with the tiles,
that was my childhood.
I just hate. I hate how like sun baked it is. Like how like
they're
light
faded.
it is now.
There's
like a João Benedito jersey outside the stadium that's like
you
don't barely see it now.
The stadium is just in not the greatest condition.
Yeah.
No, exactly. It's not a great, like, no offense, like it's not a great looking stadium either. Like in terms of the actual look and like architecture of it, I don't think it's. I don't know. I feel like
I know James also says get rid of the yellow. I kind of like the yellow.
Yellow is for the most part gone.
Yellow's almost gone.
Now
yeah.
green.
Yeah,
trim is now green.
It's like that top, I think, right? Like
it's just like the scaffold part up top.
Where,
yeah.
Like the office area is. I think the roof of that still might be yellow, and there's some colorful area over there too.
And by the mall
by the
part
store,
is yellow.
by the gym, by the pool, that area.
Yeah.
There's still colorful tiling over there.
Yeah. I always liked a Vaidu Stadium because it didn't have the stupid moat.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only thing. I hate the moat. It's so
stupid. They're not
stupid.
going to build a moat, bro.
There's no way they can build that moat.
Now.
It's too much money now. The time has passed.
We had Bruno Carvalho was here when he explained like it's not worth getting rid of the moat, right? Or even with the chairs and stuff.
It's very costly because
he might have done it. I've seen.
I feel like he'd done it here.
It'd be very. Ajax has a similar kind of layout to us, and they did cover it, but that's Ajax, and they're well run. Number one,
and they have way more money than we.
They have, they're well run. It's my point, but also if you're gonna fill in the moat, like. Even the way it's set up is so weirdly oriented. Like it's so much more difficult than the average moat.
The second level doesn't go around fully connected, so whenever you see anyone talking about the LED boards, just know that it's impossible unless the second level is like reconstructed because it doesn't line up.
It doesn't line up properly.
So at this point, if you're talking about like completely reconstructing the second level,
you might as well build a new stadium.
You just build a new stadium.
Exactly.
Just build a new stadium and do it right the first time.
Unlike this one. Those types of things, we have what we have, you know.
Yeah, it's all we got to make do with nothing. That stadium is like the Olympic Stadium in Montreal, where it's just nothing was ever built right. You're paying for it. You're just constantly trying to figure out what can we kind of fix.
You know what I just thought of? Let's say we rebuild the stadium. This is just all.
You know how we're never full? We're gonna start tarping off areas.
We're gonna be like friggin' the White Caps.
It's like the White
tarping off,
bro. They're gonna be. Remember how in COVID they would put stuff on the seats? They're just gonna be like, bro, we're not gonna let this money go to waste. Let's put this back on here.
Let's be at it.
Just tarping off seats.
That's a good point.
To make it look kind of full.
I was just thinking if we rebuild the stadium. Did I lose you guys?
Oh no, you're good.
If we rebuild the stadium, imagine ground sharing with like Benfica for a year.
No, they'll go to Zamora. They'll go to Zamora like Benfica did for the Luge.
Nah, Zamora, bro. That's horrible, bro.
They'll do that before.
It's gonna get closed, like permanently.
Yeah, that's playing in the fucking trenches, bro. The fucking seats are gonna calm down and shit.
Yeah.
Benfica did. I just say that because that's what Benfica did
bro.
for a year.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, we're playing
No,
I
would love playing at the Luge. Like, imagine ground sharing like Inter
That'd be
Milan, AC Milan, but we win the fucking league that year.
That'd
We win the
so
league
funny.
at the Luge. Ooh, that'd be amazing, bro.
Dude, I mean, how much is a new stadium? Minimum.
If you're gonna build,
build
it like properly,
where is the bread for that?
Yeah, no. It's once we finally pay off that 300 million fucking debt, we just resurface it again, bro.
Yeah, if you're gonna build that, because the hope would be they build it right this time.
Yeah,
and they make it make sense.
Yeah, I guess you could play at the Restello.
Yeah, the Restello.
You could do Restello.
They play.
I only said Jamor because that's what Benfica did for a year when the Luge was taken down under construction.
But there's obviously a reason that Casa Pia doesn't ground share there, right? Because it probably is closer and easier, much closer than
for them.
all the way down to Oatis, but they don't. So I.
Do Bissad still play at Jamor? I don't think they do anymore.
No, they're playing Lady.
Bissad's barely a club anymore.
Thank God.
Thank Christ. Fake team. I don't know what they would do. Jamor's in a shambles too. I'm surprised they've never done any work.
Dude, I saw images of I think it was Sporting Casapia there. There's like this weird green slime.
On the seats, right? Because it's all limestone or whatever.
Yeah, there's like this weird green slime everywhere, and it's like Jamor slime, bro.
Yeah, they only remove it a week before the one game, the Tossa game.
Yeah, they remove it before the cup final, but they do not remove it before the average Casapia game.
No, I'm surprised they've never thought of doing any work there, because it's a cool looking stadium. It's a very unique.
Cool in a shitty way, yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be our national stadium too.
I feel like if you just put.
Why did they decide it like that? They're like, let's just make it the stands go 2/3 of the way.
Yeah, let's just make it. Let's just. My grandfather's been there a few times for Tossa. He went to see Betamar when they won the Tossa, and he went to see Sporting in 07 actually with Nani and Lietzen. And he's like, yeah, it's just the weird because it's one. There's two entrances. There's the VIP entrance, for the Tribune, right? And there's just one entrance for everybody else. It's so weird.
It's just in an open area. You're in the stadium, but you're
and then you're in a forest.
Yeah.
It's all trees around there.
And then for the final, they put temporary stands there, and I guess
they put one set of temp stands in that open sea area, right?
But I think that must be probably the VIP area now, or.
No, the VIP area. The VIP area.
The trophy lift, in the center of the stands.
They do. Well, the VIP area is where all the presidents sit. That's always there. I'm talking about they do the temp stand on the hard cam side.
Yeah, it's where the hole is. Yeah.
Yeah, where the massive fucking weird gap is. Because it is a cool look. It is a cool looking stadium when you're looking at, especially when there's people. It's full. For a Tossa game, it is a cool looking stadium.
The stadium has really died so hard.
What?
Just the concept of having the national team having
yeah. Well, because they just kind of tour around now for the most part. They do
it's probably more money that way too.
Yeah, and it's also I'm just surprised because they put so much work into the training center, which is literally right beside the stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, man, put half that effort into making the stadium half decent for Tossa games at least. It wouldn't take much.
Yeah.
Put some new seats, put some friggin' bathrooms and a concourse. Come on, it doesn't. You don't even need that much. It doesn't seem.
Yeah.
It's put running bathrooms and decent seats and a concourse, and you're set. That's all you need.
Yeah. All right.
But,
let's go straight to the Saturday's game against Portimonense.
Yeah, we got
Here's the league. Here's the league table. Benfica still in first. Porto dropped points. They're now 8 points behind Benfica. Braga also dropped points. So now we're only 5 points off of them and 7 off of Porto. Guimarães are still a big, a margin away. Casa Pia starting to drop off. Roca's even past them. Roca was having a great season. They've had a great season. Credit to them. Boavista is starting to turn things around. Piwav looking good. Portimonense down in 12th.
Mid-table obscurity.
Yeah, but they're still good. I don't think they're necessarily.
They always play us kind of
26 points. They're 10 points ahead of Marítimo. So So long as they keep up for the course, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Their latest results, I think they won this weekend. Hold on, or tied? They lost, actually. They lost to Famalicão. They lost to Famalicão, but the week before they beat Marítimo.
They did, yes.
They beat Marítimo at home. They lost to Famalicão away. Lost to Guimarães away, but beat Paços Ferreira at home. So they're a good home team. So another thing for us to be worried about.
They always play us tough too. So
exactly, and Sporting this year have been horrible away from home too. So that also has to
dreadful away from home. Yeah,
we have to also keep that in mind as well. But Chris, I'll pass it off to you first. Thoughts on this game?
Won't be wearing the black and neon kit because
those things are cursed.
Yeah, we won't be. They're wearing black and white.
Yeah.
Neither kit of ours, honestly, is that great for
you're gonna get a kit clash there, yeah. Regardless, I think.
I guess white shorts though with the home kit most likely.
Yeah.
More than likely, I would say.
Yeah, I think I like our chances, to be honest. It would be a shame to lose this one, especially after a couple good performances in a row, leading into the Arsenal game.
Yeah.
I think we do get a result, but obviously I think it'll be a tougher game. We've had a couple easy-ish games in the league recently.
And we've kind of made a meal of some of those games.
But I think this could be the hardest in, 3 weeks.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, that's fair.
How about you, Rich?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like they're kind of in that mid-table obscurity, but they always play us tough. And yeah, I think given the teams we've played, like we kind of played more like the bottom feeders the last little while. So I think I'm with Chris. I think they'll be probably one of the tougher games over the last month, outside of obviously the Clásico against Porto. I do think we will win. I think we have it, and I think the boys are in a bit of a run of form, bit of a run of confidence, and I think they'd like to keep that up. Try to think of a score prediction. I'll go 2-1. Pot with 1 to kind of keep them sort of in the scoring race, and then Paulinho's played like crap.
Mario wins the Golden Boot, bro. I'm quitting the podcast.
Yeah, me too, bro. It's like me too, bro.
He wins the Golden Boot with under 20 goals.
I might quit life, brother.
I'm deleting the 160 Twitter account.
Yeah,
we're starting from scratch.
Facts.
Wow. Pot with a goal, and then Shudamiti might get
Pen man, bro.
The pen man. It might be a penalty. I think Shudamiti might get another one.
How is he ahead of his teammate Gonzalo Ramos, bro? Who's he's arguably the starting striker for Portugal now, bro.
João Mario, he's been doing more than just pens, bro. He's been
get your goals up, big man.
Bro, get your money up, not your funny up. Like, what are you doing, Gonzalo?
Didn't he just score like 4 fucking goals in like 2 games ago? He didn't score any, bro. Come on, man.
Like, what the hell?
Bastos would never.
I miss Bastos. Proper. We were a proper club. We were a proper club at that point. Yeah, man. I say we win 2-1. Pot with 1. Should have married though with another one. And then we let either it's like a really good goal, or it's either going to be a really good goal, or it's going to be like a brutal goal.
Like Chris, you fucked me up with that João Mario random comment, bro. Fuck, man. Because I'm with you, bro. He's been like week in, week out, just constantly like scoring goals. It's been pissing me the fuck off.
I actually saw a crazy stat. It's like he's scored like half of the goals in his career this season.
That's wild. That is a stat.
Many goals he had 30 goals in his career, and he has like 14 this season.
He's like already 50% of the way to his career total. That's unbelievable.
The only good thing is usually João Mario has a shit season followed by a great season followed by like 5 shit seasons after.
He does, because he did that with Sporting too, where he had like a bad season, but then he had like a really good season, got sold,
and then we sold him, and then it was shit, and then came to Sporting good.
He had an okay spell at West Ham in the middle of
No, he didn't. He was okay at West Ham. He didn't have a good spell at West Ham.
I just said he had an okay spell. I didn't say he had a good spell.
Fine.
I said he had an okay spell. He'll be putting one into my
But he got relegated with them, no?
No, they didn't get relegated. They stayed off relegation. They were in a relegation battle.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They were close to getting relegated. You're right.
Yeah, they're close to getting relegated like almost every couple years. Like,
yeah, it's true. and then they're gonna make Europe for the next like 3 years.
He has 48.
They won in the
his
Conference League. I already called it.
19 are this
48.
48 career, 19 of those are this season.
Wow. Wild.
Just
That's all
makes me
comp. That's all
bro.
comp.
That's all comp. 14
Yeah.
league, 5 Champions League.
5 of the champions. Good for him.
No,
5 Champions
fuck
League
that
goals
guy,
is
bro.
wild. Well, no, fuck that
Fuck
guy.
that
But I'll,
guy.
for him, but
I
also
need
fuck
the
that
pen
guy.
breakdown.
Yeah.
It's got to be at least half.
Wow.
He has a fair amount of goals, but he does have a fair amount of pens too.
Yeah, it's a lot of penalty kicks.
Goal's a goal, bro.
goal's a goal.
Mario
Goal's a goal.
like,
Bruno Fernandes, Ronaldo.
Exactly. Bas Dost, like
Jorge Jesus had to teach
yeah.
us how to take pens so that he could get fucking stats.
Because Bas Dost was just a tap in and a header merchant.
Brother. João Mari was clearly taking lessons in the background, bro. Fuck.
Yeah, he did something. He did something in the off season.
Anyways, I'm gonna say also 2-1 win. I'm gonna predict that we're gonna go down 1-0 at halftime.
Oh, if we go down
halftime.
1-0 at halftime, we're losing the game.
But this is where we turn the tide. We're gonna go down. No, I think if we go down 1-0 sometime in the second half, we're fucked. First half, we can still salvage the result. So we're going
You're a
down 1-0
bolder
in the
man
first.
than I.
We're going down 1-0 in the first, and then Morita ties up the game, and Fatawu comes off the bench, cuts it on his left foot, bang. That's my prediction. Chris,
I've got a 1-0 result.
That sounds more realistic. That sounds a lot more realistic. I'm not gonna lie. I believe him more than that.
What do you mean? Fatawu coming off the bench isn't realistic, bro?
Tremiti scoring the winner off the bench after
realistic.
Us coming down from a goal is unrealistic. That was where you lost.
But Shermiti scoring a goal is realistic to you, Grinch? What the fuck? Okay.
Bro, he has
couple in him. He's not a couple in him.
Goal
A couple
on the season.
Yeah.
They each have 2. Actually, in the league, not
in the league. They each have 2.
Have some respect for the Taça Liga, bro.
Yeah, he had like 15 in the Taça Liga.
Yeah, exactly.
He had 1 or 2
Show some
Champions
respect,
League
man.
too.
All right, boys.
Shame nobody could score in the Taça, but same we were out after a game. It would have been nice to go on a run there.
Yeah, well. Fucking Sporting, bro.
The Sporting, they're the mean team.
Anyways, everybody. Oh, I got rid of the. Hold on.
You heard of the tweet, didn't you? To promo the shirt.
I was erasing tabs, but hold on.
Erased too many tabs.
Put it up here.
He was closing all the he was closing all the stuff down that he was going to get to later. If you catch my drift, and he closed the wrong tab.
Exactly, bro. If you catch my drift, don't forget to subscribe here on YouTube. Just a few more away, and we'll be giving away a beautiful Sporting jersey. Shipping's all covered, like Rich said. So please subscribe. Send us proof of a screenshot on Twitter. If you don't have a Twitter account, what's wrong with you, bro? Like, hurry up and make one.
It's 2022. It's 2023.
Come on, we're predominantly active on Twitter. How are you watching us and you're not on Twitter?
Yeah,
get on Twitter.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We have all of those.
We got everything. We got
a TikTokers as well, guys. Don't forget
to TikTok, and then we post those TikToks on YouTube as shorts. So yeah.
Yeah, you can also message us on TikTok too.
Yeah,
exactly.
Our DMs are open. And Twitter too is a good way to keep up with us because we put a lot of updates with the modalidades and what's going on in the club and just when we're doing shows or content's coming out. So
exactly, predominantly on Twitter, but yeah, feel free subscribe, guys. You're into winning a prize from that. Since we're on that, go ahead and give Rich a follow there. Myself a follow there. Special shout out to Steph as always. Sam a follow there. Shout out to Sam, and of course for Chris. But of course, more importantly, Sporting160EN. Boys, another good one. And James only made one last week. James, you're fucking up, bro.
James,
I'm kidding. I love you guys. All right, see you guys next week, and Viva Sporting.